Shockofgod recently posted a video that was originally posted by a small Christian channel called The Magic Raven, featuring the top 9 stupid things that atheists have done on YouTube. Sog just added 25 seconds of crappy soundless text as an intro. And keep in mind, if this seems like old news, The Magic Raven's video was posted last November. It is worth noting in the intro, Sog claims he couldn't handle all the Jesus bashing, so he defected from atheism to Christianity. That's a pretty fucking stupid reason to shift your worldview on anything. But to each his own. Before we get started, I would like to say that I wholeheartedly support anyone calling out atheists on their bullshit because I personally believe we should be setting a better example. But, just like every group, there are those of us who suck at life, and we all suffer for it. I'm going to briefly address some of the points, but numbers 10, 8, 7, 4, 3, and 2 can all be summed up by saying that the person or persons in each clip acted douchily. We all already know it, but thank you for pointing it out. I do want to talk about number 9.
Number 9. Captain Awesome's adult film. I'm sure everyone has heard of this one by now. Having made a sex tape with fake Sagan's fiancée, Ocean Avani, Captain Awesome loaded said tape onto the internet, believing it to be the best ownage material ever. It was, but it was for him, not fake Sagan.
Captain Awesome was one of my first subscriptions, and his coffee videos still one of my all-time favorite videos. But yes, posting a sex tape of someone to pwn their fiancé is douche-tastic. However, it surprised me to see this on the list since, as you mentioned,
nobody over the age of 16 was impressed by the act, and instead Captain Awesome was berated for blackmailing and sexually humiliating Ocean Avani. The backlash was so bad that Captain Awesome closed his channel.
Virtually everyone in the atheist community spoke out and condemned Kevin's actions. And while this was the downfall of Captain Awesome, I think it showed the rest of us in a positive light and showed that we are not wholly without moral character as we are so often accused.
Number 6. Richard Coughlin's Meltdown. After picking on Christians and other YouTubers who either didn't fight back or had too small a following of subs to pose a threat, Richard Coughlin finally picked on someone his own size, the amazing atheist. Forced to get a taste of his own medicine for a change, Coughlin proceeded to break down and cry his eyes out on camera. It turned out to be one of the most embarrassing faceplants in YouTube history, and Coughlin quickly established himself as the epitome of being able to dish it out, but not being able to take it.
Richard the Dick Coughlin. Yes, he melted down, and yes, it was painful to watch. And at the time, I chuckled along with so many others. But since becoming an uploader, I have learned firsthand how tiresome it gets when trolls and a-holes leave scads of lame comments time and time again. I'm not saying it wasn't sad of the Dick, but I'm not sure I would fare any better with thousands and thousands of hate messages coming my way.
Number 5. Thunderfoot debates Ray Comfort. Thunderfoot, best known for his showmanship and his ability to bury us all under complicated terminology, met his match when organizing a debate with well-known Christian Ray Comfort. Though calm and professional sounding when safely nitpicking minor details in other people's videos, Thunderfoot proves he can't think on his feet or deal with criticism himself. Although his atheist followers assumed Thunderfoot would dominate Comfort, he ended up stuttering and saying some very stupid things. Thunderfoot himself realized he'd been shot down, and so for the sake of damage control, he later claimed the debate was more about two people explaining their beliefs, rather than tearing Comfort apart.
I too was disappointed, but only because I let my expectations exceed the likeliest outcome. Ray is a practiced veteran at making stupid, shitty ideas sound great, and making well-established scientific principles sound stupid by playing dumb. Only he isn't playing. The lessons I took from the exchange were these. 1. Live improvised content will never be as good as produced content. 2. You can be wrong as hell and still win a debate, and being right or smart is no guarantee of victory against a snake like Ray Comfort. And then there's number 1, the big one.
And the number 1 stupidest thing atheists have done on YouTube? They've all turned their backs on God.
Yes, we all turned our backs on God. Bravo. Caught it. Nailed us to the wall with that one. But then again, while every other action on the list was defensively presented as shitty behavior, this one is not. I will never apologize for being smarter than the average Joe or Jane, because I am. I will never surrender the values and ideas one finds along the road to reason. And it's really hard to turn your back on a fictional character, allegations of omnipresence notwithstanding. Now, if I were spiteful, which I'm not, I would point to some of the more grievous actions committed by some of the YouTube Christians. Need I even mention Venomfang X, a single user who plagiarized Kent Hovind, lied to his subscribers constantly, solicited donations for personal gain under the guise of sending the excesses to charity, in effect stealing from the children to whom the money was promised, and let's not even get into the whole DMCA nonsense. Also, let's not forget about his biggest fan, Tony48219, who committed a murder-suicide. Last time I checked, no one in the atheist community has stooped anywhere near that low. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter who's got more bad apples. That in no way affects the intelligence or strength of our ideals and beliefs. And it is our beliefs which represent us, the atheists, better than anyone who happens to share them. The fact is, we police our own. We fight and kick at people who get out of line. We are downright merciless when people do stupid or shitty things. And we do it without any fear of reprisal or hope of reward in some afterlife. We do it, not all of us, but some of us, because at the end of the day, it's up to us humans to sort out this life and this planet. No one and nothing is going to help us if we don't help ourselves. And I take great solace in that. Buddha smile kindly upon you all, especially the new people in China, and Shock, well, you just keep riding that motorcycle, buddy.